Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, it's a very common story. A company is growing and it plateaus. How do you get unstuck? Well, you hire a guy like my next guest. He is a certified business coach. His incredible story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I have seen this story again and again in my career. You have a company that's growing and then they plateau and they don't know what to do. And it's hard to, coach yourself. So sometimes you have to bring in an outside pair of eyes that can look under the hood, see what's wrong with that car. And that's when you bring in my next guest, Schoenmakers. He's an action coach. He's certified business coach with the largest business coaching firm in America, ActionCOACH.
In the world, actually, yes. In America.
That's awesome. All right, well, tell us more about the company. Tell us about ActionCOACH.
Sure. So ActionCOACH is, as I mentioned, kind of all over the world, 80-plus countries. It's a franchise. So the corporations all over the world, tens of thousands of companies being coached by the different coaches. There's 1,000-plus offices around the world. So a lot of business coaches coaching a lot of businesses, helping a lot of business owners grow their businesses and hopefully achieve better lives.
And you have Dallas, which I can't think of a better market to be in charge of.
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, I like, when I think about, markets like Detroit, and no diss to Lions fans out there, but, Detroit lives and dies by the auto industry. Dallas is so diversified. I don't even think we know what a recession looks like. It's always, something like 200,000 people are moving here every year. So your business must be booming.
Booming. So, of course, everything goes up and down. It's been a pretty solid growth platform basically over the last 9 years. So, yeah, overall, been pretty good growth. Obviously, as I said, lots of small businesses here in Dallas, which is mostly who we work with. And when I was moving back to Texas, I used to live in Boston. I was picking, hey, what city do I want to go to? And Dallas ended up being that city for a lot of these reasons. A lot of business owners here in Dallas. So yeah, pretty good market, pretty good city. I was actually a little surprised at how diverse Dallas was. I'm from San Antonio originally, so when I got here to Dallas, I didn't think of it as being as diverse as it is. But yeah, it's pretty diverse. Lots going on.
We're going to pull up his website, and as we scroll down the website, describe a perfect client for you. How large a company do you like to work with?
Perfect client. I'd say our target is typically businesses with a team anywhere from, say, 3 to 50. That's kind of the most common business owner that we work with. We work with some little, smaller than that, some bigger than that, but that's kind of the sweet spot. But also not just the size, that's the demographic, really the psychographic. The best clients really are open and interested in growing not just their business, but themselves. We are coaches, so we're not doing a lot of the work for the client, right? We help them do the work. We help them build the competency into their business. So if they're interested in developing themselves, perhaps some of the team, and working to build that and grow that company, then those are good potential clients.
Most great mechanics can listen to a car and say, okay, that's the flux capacitor. Are you able to look under the hood and figure out what's wrong with a company in a short period of time?
Definitely if it's the flux capacitor, but no. For sure, we do complimentary 2-hour strategy sessions with business owners. So 30 minutes, sure. 2 hours, definitely. So usually within that 2-hour time period, it's a bit of a process. They give us some information. We go back and forth on a couple of calls, but essentially at the end of the day, they're usually walking out of that 2-hour strategy session with at least 10 to 12 different strategies. We get pretty specific in those strategy sessions. So yeah, there's at least a few things that always come out of those conversations so that if the business owner, again, has interest in working on some of these things, Obviously, they can choose to do it on their own with that information, or they can partner with us and we can work together.
And I urge you to follow Sean on all his social media platforms because he is a content machine. I found just dozens and dozens of videos. I found one that I really like. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Hey guys, John Schoenmakers here with another tip to improve your business. I just got finished shopping at Trader Joe's and come to Trader Joe's many times. And one of the reasons I've come to Trader Joe's many times is because one of the times I was here checking out at the register, they had a box there at the checkout area and it had some power bars in it. So it's a power bar I'd actually never had before, brand I'd never had, a flavor I'd never had. And so anyway, it was kind of a impulse buy, if you will, but I picked up one of the power bars and I ended up really liking it. So now I come to Trader Joe's probably at least once a week to buy a box of these power bars, and I eat them a lot because I really like them and they're really good. And so of course I'll come in and I'll buy other things from Trader Joe's, but the point is, the thing I want to emphasize for you as a business owner is this little, why did I start coming here frequently and buy all these power bars from them? Because they had it available for me to see at their checkout. And, if they didn't have it there at the checkout, they could have mentioned it, but they swap out those power bars. They put different things at those boxes there at the checkout counter every week or day or whatever the frequency is. So I get a little glimpse of different things that they have that I may not have come into the store to buy, but I see it and then I can make a decision, hey, do I want it or not? So basically that's their marketing strategy. They're putting things in front of you, in front of me and the consumers to see new products that I may not know that Trader Joe's even had. And lo and behold, some people end up buying them and then they might buy them frequently forever, right? So my question for you is, what are you doing in your marketing and your sales strategies to continually put various different product services that you have in front of your customers that they may not know you have, that they might really want and they might buy over and over and over again? So that's a strategy that's going to help you increase your market, increase your sales, and increase profits. So if you're not quite sure exactly how to do that, looking for some input on how to get that thing going in your business, give us a call, contact us, look at our website, and set up an appointment so we can get that going for you. All right, have a good one.
Well, that made me think as I was putting this show together. I was like, how many times am I introducing something that we sell to my customer at the checkout line? And so that was brilliant. How do you come up with these ideas for the videos that you create?
So honestly, when it comes to marketing and sales, there are 350 something different strategies across the business that we will look at for options of ways to increase sales and profits for the business. So because I work with so many businesses and I've done this for so long, anytime I see a strategy that we talk about or that we have in our repertoire that is currently being used in a business that I go to, I'm like, hey, there's an opportunity to not just tell the strategy, but give people a probably pretty familiar example that they've probably seen themselves, but they may not have realized that it was happening. So yeah, organically, I end up just making short videos like I did right there and just kind of recount the strategy and give people a glimpse into what the strategy is and how they could use it in their business, as evidenced by the business that I just went to.
And I love it. I think you have a nice energy about you. You don't come across as like a used car salesman. You're just very, very...
New car salesman. No. Okay.
You're very laid back, and I think you probably make your customers very comfortable.
Well, the way I figure a lot of things is, let's say you really want something to happen. It doesn't really matter. What matters is whether the person you're chatting with wants to have it happen. So I'm not, I can't help or make anybody do anything that they don't want to do. So all I can really do is present the information, help them understand it as best as they can to give them the best chance to use it. And if they want to use it, fantastic. You can use it. If you don't, I did my job, I guess, to some degree. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Awesome.
I know you also do lunch and learns. We found some video on YouTube. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen. And I think you probably remember this event. Do you remember who the group was?
Yeah, it's the Association of Professional Linen and Construction. Yep.
And a typical lunch and learn is a couple hours, or what is it?
Anywhere usually from 1 to 4 hours. Sometimes we'll do full day, but usually they're 1 to 4. Probably most commonly 2. Couple hours. Yeah.
And in a lunch and learn like this, you're probably able to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, so and usually we call it kind of home workshops, seminars, workshops, but usually we include activities. So we'll have some amount of content to teach / explain, and then you obviously get to know something the best when you use it yourself. So we'll usually have some of that content, and then we'll also do activities so they can act it out and like see it happen in real time, which of course really helps embed the learning. And then they can also chat amongst each other. So you get a lot of learning. Some from us, some from the people in the room, and some from doing it yourself and just learning through activity. So
That's awesome. Sean, we've got a couple minutes left. So why don't you talk to that CEO or entrepreneur who might need to bring you into their company to look under the hood?
Yeah, so you mentioned, Jeff, plateaus happen. They happen, if you look at the standard method of growth, you usually grow, and then you usually plateau, and then you grow, and you plateau, and there might even be a little dip in between the plateau and the growth. So if you're in a place where you feel like you're in a plateau, or you know you're in a plateau because you're looking at the numbers and you're seeing the plateau, or you're maybe feeling like you're in a little bit of a dip, then those are good probably times to hopefully your open-mindedness is increasing a little bit. You're saying, maybe there's some things I'm not seeing, or I just may not know exactly. I may not understand fully how to get to that next level of growth. And so good opportunity, of course, to bring in someone like myself, outside eyes, who has a repertoire of strategies and things that could probably be helpful. And we can, like you said, kind of go under the hood a little bit with one of our 2-hour sessions. And honestly, also businesses, the other types of business I'll see, if they're not plateauing, they're growing actually really fast, which of course, if you're growing really fast, then you're encountering a lot of new things you're probably not used to. And again, a good time to, as you're encountering new things, chat with someone who's either seen it themselves or with other businesses like myself and can help you navigate that. So I talk actually with businesses when they're in their busy season. Guess what? That's when most of your transactions are happening. So if you're growing really fast, like you're having a lot of transactions. And so if any small tweak you make during that really kind of rapid growth period will be more impactful, because that's when most of the transactions are occurring. So a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm really busy. I don't have time. And I'm like, actually, this is the most important time to make sure you're looking at these small tweaks, because they can add up to a lot.
Oh, you've been an amazing guest. We're going to have you back again. We're going to end with his website, which is Schoenmakers.actioncoach.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.